Happy Thursday, June the 6th of 2024. It's me, your buddy Donnie again with another Dolly review, and as always, telling it like a TI is. Um, I decided to make this video a twofer because actually my original intent was to make a video concentrating on this new doll. Um, but then it hit me, let me kill two birds with one stone. Okay. Now, as all of you know, and it is no secret, I am a huge fan of the 80s Barbies. Ugh, I can't get enough of them. And as you also may know, I am often, slamming on today's dolls, at least from the last 10 years, because of their lack of quality, and so on. But today I decided to make, like I said, a twofer. I'm going to review Tropical Barbie, the black version. And I say the black version because it's Tropical Barbie. She's not Christy. Okay? And also, the second part, I decided to make it comparing both dolls, apples to apples. Okay? And, well, I'll get to that in a minute. Well, first, let's get started on the star of this video. Tropical Barbie, the African American version, or black, if you will. Anyhow, as you can see, this one is not quite mint because when I bought her, okay, her box, as you can see, was very beat up. She was still new attached on her liner, but I got her out, braided her hair, and as you can see, the little rubber band elastic thing is coming loose because I got this many years ago. But because again the box was so raggedy and falling apart, I got it at a great price. The doll, is intact, as you can see, and I did my best to sort of like tape together her box, her packaging. But again, I got her at a great price. I think she was like $5 because again the box was, well, not in the best of shape. So I taped it up as best as I could, and I kept her like this, quote unquote, minty. Okay, so I'm not gonna unbox this one because again I already taped it together. So luckily, but let me show you all the sides because this is eye candy, y'all. This is eye candy. The sun always shines on Tropical Barbie and her friends. Well, I don't see anybody else but the black Ken. Where are the other friends? But whatever, I'm not going to get on my soapbox about that. So, on the back of the box, you see this beautiful photograph of Dee Dee. Well, I call her Dee Dee because this head mold, okay, debuted a proper name in 1985 as Dee Dee Rockers. Okay, some people like to call it the Spanish head mold because it actually debuted on a Spanish doll. Not a doll from Spain, but a doll that was wearing a folkloric outfit from Spain. So that's why a lot of people call this head mold the Spanish head mold. But I don't like to call it the Spanish head mold, not because of politically correctness, because that's rubbish. No, I prefer to call her the Dee Dee head mold because that's the first time this doll's head mold had a proper name, Dee Dee. Not Christy, but Dee Dee of the Rockers line. So anyways, here's Miss Dee Dee, okay, the tropical version of Dee Dee, if you will, with her boyfriend Ken, the black version, okay, very handsome. So here they are. Okay, the side box shows you the different ways that you can use. That she can wear her ruffle. She can wear it as a mini skirt. as a flower on top of her shoulder or across over her chest, diagonal, which I like this. Or she can also wear it as a ponytail holder, as this is how the doll came, you know, as a ponytail holder. The doll, again, I'm not unboxing her, but trust me, you're not missing anything because this tropical Barbie, all the tropical Barbies and Miko of whatever ethnicity, they are as basic as it gets because all they included was a swimsuit, a ruffle, and this little brush. So you're not missing anything here. I'm showing it here what she brings. So not unboxing this doll, trust me, you're not missing anything because here it is. Okay, so let me put her aside for a minute. Okay. So now here is Miss Tropical Barbie. Okay, with a DD head mold. Okay. She's very, very pretty. Okay. Her head is kind of hard, so I don't know if I would ever want to reroute her. I don't know. I mean, her hair. I bought also this doll absolutely mint. But her box wasn't even worse shaped than that one. So bad that I had to throw it out. But again, I lucked out because the doll was intact. You know, so here's Tropical Barbie, okay, with a DD head mold, okay. Again, and this is all she brought. Her little yellow brush. That's it. This is as basic as budget friendly doll as you could get in 1986. Okay, which brings me to this little lady. Okay, this doll also doesn't have a proper name. I mean, she's a generic Barbie. Of course, they're all Barbie, regardless of their ethnicity. They're all Barbie dolls. But, I like it better, when each doll had a proper name, when they were, characters. Maybe it's Mattel being cheap, not having to copyright, different names for different dolls, or maybe it's an altruistic way of just calling all dolls Barbies, so every little girl of whatever ethnicity could see herself in Barbie's eyes, which is true. But again, I preferred when the dolls had proper names. Anyways, so here's Barbie, okay, with a head mold that I'm not very familiar with. I have never seen this head mold before, or maybe I've seen it on a different skin tone. Of course, different makeup, different hair, so maybe I'm not recognizing it. So if you recognize this head mold from other dolls, please let me know in the comments below. I'd appreciate that. Okay. Now, why did I get this? Well, I got her because I was at Dollar General, getting some things, and then I saw her for $4.99, $5, you know, for a genuine Playline Barbie doll of today. I think is very reasonable. $5. I'm not an affluent person, so if I was able to afford her, you know, I think most people can. $5. I mean, really, it's she's again very very basic, but genuine Mattel. So now I will unbox her. I will. Now, I'm gonna call her Rosita. I decided to call her Rosita because, by the way, for those of you who do not speak Spanish, Rosita would translate to a little rose. And a little rose because, she has such a sweet face. She has a very pretty smile. She has friendly eyes. She happens to be wearing pink, even though on my phone it's looking more on the purplish lavender side. But trust me, this is pink. It is pink. So here's Rosita. Her packaging again, it's a blister package, which will not require a hacksaw to remove. And voila, she's out. She's out. She's not even attached to the back of the liner, which is fine with me. Now in this line, there are a couple of other ethnic dolls. Okay, here's a Caucasian one. Okay, and here's one that I guess is supposed to be Latina or maybe Italian or Middle Eastern. But she's definitely of the melanated people. Okay, I guess they don't specify. So these are the three dolls. In this line. Okay, now putting this box aside onto Rosita. Okay, as you can see, her hair. I don't know what let me just pull this out. How y'all been? I need to figure it out, and I know I'm going to eventually, be able to make a live video where we can interact and chat because I love the human touch. I love the human contact. I love being able to talk to people, and okay. It's just really one rubber band that they folded. Okay, there, it's out. She comes with a mini dress that has. Oh, okay. I thought that this ruffle was removable, but no, no, no. The ruffle is attached, is sewn onto the dress, so I cannot remove it. It would have been fun if I could remove it, but then again, Mattel, as cheap as they are, I know why they decided to just sew it on, because if the ruffle would have been removable, the ruffle would have had to be wrapped all the way around, but no. So they're giving us half a ruffle. Dang, Mattel, why are you so cheap? Gosh, y'all make good money. Seriously, seriously, you don't have to be this cheap. Okay, now comparing apples to apples, this doll and this doll, they are about the same in terms of affordability because again, this tropical Barbie was the most basic doll you could get back in 1986, and this is the most basic doll you could get today. Except that again, Mattel cut corners because her hair is it barely reaches her waist, and I mean barely because it's cut in such a way that some of the strands are shoulder length, and some of them like barely down to her waist. Now, on a real woman, this is long hair because to go past her shoulders, elbows, and waist. So on a real woman, yeah, this is long hair by definition. But for a doll, this hair is short. It's I would have rather it be longer, like sister girl over her. Okay, because right now it's coiled into that braid. But as you can see, her hair when it's unraveled loose, it goes to the back of her knees. You know, as a matter of fact, tropical Barbies, all of them, they boasted with the longest hair ever because at the time, this was the longest Barbie had ever been made. Like with the longest, this length, on the back of her knees was the longest. Later on in the 90s, they made totally hair and, others, much longer. So, anyways, so back to Rosita. Her hair, it's not one solid color. It's a blend. You might not be able to tell because it's a thorough blend of brown and reddish fibers. Okay, let me see. Okay, there you go. It's thoroughly blended. It's like I said, it feels very nice and soft to the touch. It feels the same as this nylon or saran. Maybe this is saran. Yeah, this saran that Tropical Barbie wore. So yeah, this might very well be saran as well. Okay. However, again, I'm not crazy about the length and is the girth, not the girth, but it's not very populated. You know, it's I wish she had more hair. But again, this is Mattel being cheap. Her face, I can't quite tell, but I believe these lovely eyes are cheap decals. Okay, my eyes are not what they used to be, so I can't quite discern whether these are decals. They must be decals. They have to be, because if they were painted on, yeah, these are decals. Yeah. Again, the head mold itself, this face sculpt is very pretty. She's very inviting. That's why I got her. Not only because she was very very affordable, but also because her smile, her toothy smile. Okay, which I normally prefer dolls that show teeth. Normally. But sometimes, dolls that do not show teeth, I will also fall in love with. Well, anyways, so Rosita, she comes with a little necklace. Okay, it's pink. Okay, it's supposed to be like little translucent pearls. Okay, it doesn't snap in the back. It just wraps around with enough room that you can just snap it out. Okay, she again does not move at the waist, which doesn't particularly bother me. Her legs do not bend. Her legs are stiff, okay, and of course, cheap for Mattel to make. They do not bend. Now, I'm not, a stickler for articulation. I realize a doll is a doll. So, as far as I'm concerned, a doll doesn't need to pop, a doll doesn't really need, okay, the ability to crack every knuckle or pop and lock at the neck. It's a doll. It's a doll. You take it for what it is. But at least back then, with the cheapest doll you could get, Sister Girl could bend her knees, cross her legs. So elegant, so pretty, So I miss this. I miss this. But, again, that's Mattel being cheap. Cheap, Mattel. So cheap. Enough. You make me sick. But anyways, but again, Rosita, is no, she does not wear panties. Okay, bad Rosita, bad. Don't you know young ladies need to wear panties? Well, it's not her fault. Anyways, she let me see. She has pretty shoes. Okay, they're high heeled. Again, at least her feet are arched. Okay, let me pull this rubber band out. Oh, the shoe fell. Well, I'm gonna, you know, any one of the shoe fells. But these are the shoes that she comes with. They're pretty. Again, at least she has high heeled feet. I might as well take the other one too. At least she has high heeled feet. And So again, I'm happy with her. I like her. If I could change something that I really like, I can live with the non-bending legs. I can live with the non-twisting waist, which is again cheaper than a doll who can turn at the waist because less parts, less molds, less plastic to use, and of course less manpower, man labor. Is these hands, these arms? I really don't like these arms, but the rest of the doll I do like. So again, for $4.99, what the hell? I got her, and I don't regret it. I don't regret it. I just wish Mattel would stop using these arms because the way her hands look is like, ugh, like she was just grabbing something disgusting and trying to shake it off her fingers. Nay, Barbie, what you been grabbing? Ugh. I don't like the position of her fingers. It's like, ugh. I don't like the position of her fingers. I really don't. I really don't. But whatever. You know, will I reroute her? Perhaps. But God knows when, if I'll ever get to. I don't know. But, she is cute enough as it is. Like I said, I like her. I don't regret her. So here's Rosita, you know. and her older sister, a tropical Barbie. Now, see, these hands I like. I like these hands. They're pretty, they're like very, the pose is ambiguous. Like she could be waving, hey, you know, or she could be, tapping on the desk, tum, 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 you know. And, but, anyways, so this pretty much wraps it up, on my twofer review of Tropical Barbie and a nondescript black Barbie from 2024. Thank you all very, very much. I appreciate the views. And again, yes, I'm going to keep yanking on Mattel's ears until they listen to me and all of us who are so dissatisfied with their products, you know, because really, I don't hate this doll, I do love her in spite of these arms. Ugh. But really, Mattel needs to get it together. They really do. Anyways, I love you all, my brothers and sisters in doll. Thank you so much for watching, and ta ta for now.